Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for, this is your November bonus reading. And sorry, I just want to get one more shuffle here. We're going to jump right in here and see what is going on for you. In your general energies, you have the Judgment card. The Judgment card suggests that you're stepping into a new life. The Judgment card, those people are inside coffins. And I always say that inside the coffin is your old life. Outside the coffin is your new life. And so I feel like you're trying to make some changes. Sure, we'll take both of these. Why not? So I feel like you're trying to make some changes in your life, or you're trying to do something different with your life. I feel like you're fearing that, you have the Five of Cups. Every single person has had a 5 in these readings as their outcome, or, kind of like somewhere in their reading, which is super weird. But, I kind of feel like things are actually going well, but like people are fearing the future, which makes sense because, I think there's a lot of uncertainty and all this other stuff, but I've let those fears go. And I also feel like you're fearing, what's popping into my head here is like the fear of being able to maintain something, it's, I don't really have any good examples. It's like, if you get into a relationship, for example, there's the honeymoon phase and then, kind of dies off. I feel like you don't want that. I feel like you want something that maybe has a nice, kind of, that maintains the honeymoon phase or something similar, right? So I feel like that's what you're trying to maintain here. But same thing with business. Again, for a lot of you, I do feel this is financially related, even though you only have a couple of financial cards. We're going to clarify, but, just kind of like popping into my head that some of you are fearing whether or not you're going to be able to maintain your level of, level of lifestyle or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like the Judgment card is saying like, yeah, you can, and you can do it easier. You have the Five of Cups there. The Five of Cups, sometimes I feel with the Five of Cups that it's saying like, why are you making things so hard? Things could be so much easier instead of overcomplicating things. And I think that the problem with life just in general is that, with big problems, I think people think that, oh, I have a big problem, so there needs to be some crazy complex solution, right, to this problem. But it's like, I think if we just started making our solutions easier, then our solutions would be easier. So, I kind of feel that Five of Cups is saying, don't overcomplicate things. If you're trying to climb a mountain, don't try to overcomplicate things and make it harder than it needs to be, right? And the Judgment card is really calling you to a new life. You have like 3 cards that are really saying this. Two of Swords, the Five of Cups, really you have more because 4 of Pentacles, holding on too tightly to something. And, I feel these are kind of asking you to find a way to make things easier. As you're crossing energy, you have this Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of success, a victory, but I kind of feel intuitively that some of you feel, I don't think you feel like you run out of time, but I feel like you maybe feel like you peaked. Didn't I say this to you recently, Aries? I'm pretty sure in your November reading. Sorry, I'm just dropping cards here. I'm pretty sure in your November reading, just the regular one, that I said the same thing. And that's really what I feel here. Is like you feel like, oh, I've experienced the best that I possibly can in life, whether in any area of your life. It could be love, business, whatever. And I feel like this is saying, I feel the whole entire reading is like saying, no, you've only experienced like 40%. I feel like there's so much more for you to experience. I feel like there's so many great things that you could create, but, I feel like you have to get out of this type of thinking, of course. In the area of your mind, you have the Magician, which is pretty good. The Magician says you're thinking about all the tools at your disposal. He has all 4 suits on this table in front of him. So he's able to use all the suits in the tarot to manifest whatever he needs. He can use his voice with the swords or his messaging. He can use his emotions with the cups and so on. So I feel for a lot of you, this is about you thinking about all the ways that you can create some sort of change in your life. He also does represent change and reinvention. He has this snake wrapped around his waist here, and it's the Ouroboros. It basically represents reinvention and reinventing yourself. I believe we're all in a time of reinvention, so I encourage people to reinvent themselves if they want to in some way. This could be anything. You could be changing your looks. You could be changing the way you run your business or the way that you do things in career. Pretty much anywhere, but I think it's a great time to do that. So, I would do it. And don't be afraid to be unique. He's literally pointing to the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords, she has this island behind her. And I always say that, to me, she represents third place solution. So I would get to that island. In your foundation, you have the Hermit. The Hermit, he is like shining his light here. And he has been through a dark night of the soul. I kind of feel in your foundation, this is saying you've been through the worst of it. He's been through a dark night of the soul. He's done a lot of soul searching. and now he's kind of coming out the other side. So, that's what I feel for you, is that you are coming out the other side, and, you're on top of this mountain, and you're kind of like making things happen. So, I feel for a lot of you, this is saying that you've been through like the worst of it, but now it's time to set yourself free. The story of the hermit is that his feet are frozen at the top of the mountain, and all he has to do is take that lantern and put it down by his feet, and his feet would be unfrozen. He would be able to start moving forward again. So the lantern itself could be like knowledge, wisdom, things that you've learned, but you need to start putting those things into practice, like all the experiences that you've had. You could also be transforming an experience as well. So, but you could be transforming through the experience, meaning that you could be using an experience that you've had in the past to grow something new in the very near future. And I kind of feel that here. There's like a million examples that I have, but like if you have a YouTube channel, it's like maybe you could be starting another one, but it's like you already have the experience. So he kind of, brings his experience forward to new things. Same thing with relationships. You probably learned a lot in relationships. And this is saying if you want a new one, which definitely could be possible. I mean, we go up to the Knight of Cups here. It's like saying you need to bring everything you learned forward, and you need to transform it. You need to see like what didn't I do the first time? What didn't the person I had do the first time? what needs to be corrected? Where should I have communicated? I would be asking yourself all these questions, because then when you meet a new person, instead of like not communicating, or instead of not speaking up when things start to turn weird or whatever, now you can, because you have the experience. And if you do that, you can fix the problems very quickly. So there you go. You have these Six of Pentacles in the area of the past. Again, this is where I get the whole 40% thing is, I feel like you're only getting like 40% of like what you could have. I don't really get breadcrumbing energy here, because I feel like these are situations that you've entered into on your own. The Six of Pentacles is coming up in the past, by the way, which is the energy you're moving past. So I kind of feel like you're moving away from the 40% energy, and you're looking for things that are closer to 100%. Nothing, of course, is ever perfect, but, I think that, as I always say, I think it's a worthy goal to work towards, finding things that are close to perfect. You have the Two of Swords in your very near future. The Two of Swords is a card of third place solutions. She's thinking this or that, but there's actually a third place behind her here, this island, and she could easily go over to that island and have a new experience. But she is maybe stuck in thinking that, oh, my situation can only be this or that, whether it's love, business, or otherwise, doesn't matter. She's only seeing two ways of doing things when there are many. So I kind of feel she is saying open up to all the ways of doing things. I'm also getting that, I feel like you need to be careful if you've been in a like a stalemate, but it might not be really a stalemate. It's more of a plateau that's popping into my head here. Because I feel like this reading is encouraging you to exceed your expectations, your own expectations for what your life can be. But, of course, you're going to have to put the work in to do that. You have the Four of Pentacles. Every single reading that I do for you, I get this feeling of you kind of expanding. It's like, I wish I could explain what I see in my head for you when I get the Four of Pentacles for you all the time, Aries. But it's almost like, it's almost like one of those maps where you can set your radius, And I hope you understand what I'm talking about, because I don't. But I feel that, maybe for a long time in life, you've been setting your radius to 10 miles, right? I feel like you need to expand it to 100 miles or more, And damn, I wish I knew what the hell I was talking about, because, I feel like it's a good thing. But it's almost like you've been seeing life inside of a small circle, and, just expanding that circle and going and, proving yourself wrong in certain areas of life, or exceeding your expectations, seeing what you're truly capable of. Having those types of experiences, I think, is what is going to lead you to the Ten of Pentacles instead of the Four of Pentacles. It's Four of Pentacles is okay. It's just an average life. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, if you want to live an average life. Like I said, if you want to live an average life, live the best average life possible, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But again, I feel like a lot of you want the Ten of Pentacles. It's you want that extraordinary life, something, better, deeper, something with more meaning, or something where you actually feel like you're doing something, or whatever, right? And I kind of feel this is saying you have to expand your radius. I feel like this is going to be work, because, I feel like part of the work is going to be going and having experiences. Next, in your closest relationships, you have the King of Cups and the High Priestess, sorry. I've had the Hierophant too many times today already, but the High Priestess, could be dealing with a Pisces. So This does not have to be love, by the way. The closest relationships could just have to do with your closest relationship. So if you're close to a Pisces, they could be helping you at this time, or they could be helping you to expand your vision or to, come up with better ideas of doing things. It's kind of what Pisces does anyway. So, again, if you have someone close to you that's a Pisces, that person could be helping you to expand your vision. I'm a Pisces, and here I am telling you to expand your vision. So, there you go. And, I also kind of feel that this is saying that you are very focused on how you feel about people as well. Again, this is the area of your closest relationships. And the King of Cups has to do with your deepest feelings. And I feel like you're exploring your feelings, or you're kind of like tapping into your feelings, and you're really just saying, how do I feel about these situations in my life, or these different things in my life? And, but as far as your closest relationships are concerned, next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Knight of Cups. Could be a knight in shining armor for sure. So I feel that some of you could be feeling that you are kind of connecting either with a person or a situation that is a knight in shining armor, but also very dreamy as well. The story of him is that he's standing in the desert, and he has that water that's flowing in front of him here. So even though he's in a place where, sorry, I've been up for hours. I don't know why it does this, but, I always turn it off and it somehow magically turns on. So anyway, I feel like you could feel like you don't have the resources to expand your radius, right? But you actually do. And if you just start taking the steps, you're like the third time that has had a message like that during this month. If you would just take the steps to do something, then the universe will move out of the way. I've been saying for like 2 years now that, number one, two things. Everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before. So I've been begging people to have experiences since I literally said this in an interview with Leo King like 2 years ago. So, I think that's what people should be doing. But number two, I also think that we can't put the cart before the horse. We have to take a couple of steps towards something we're trying to accomplish before, the resources that we think we need will show up. So, that's kind of where we're at. And I would make something happen. In your outcome, you have the Five of Cups. Again, I feel like you just need to turn around. And, his solution to the Five of Cups is to be grateful for what he has. He has these two cups with this bridge and this castle. And so all he has to do is turn around, and he will see that bridge and that castle. He doesn't just get two cups. There's probably freaking a million cups inside that castle. So who cares about those three cups, right? But really, he's grieving the loss of something that he once enjoyed. So he's grieving the loss of that wine that is spilt in front of him. It's like he doesn't even enjoy it anymore, but he's still sad about it. So again, some of you could be Four of Pentacles holding on to something that you've let go of. And this is just saying, like, once you snap out of it, then there will be some blessings that can come in for you. So, there you go. With the Judgment card and the Six of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords here. I feel like you're seeing things clearly. She sees things clearly for the first time. And she just needs to kind of like move towards what she is seeing. Again, it's almost like maybe you see an opportunity that exists with that Two of Swords, but you have to move towards it. With the Magician, you have the Moon. Again, I feel that doubt. We were talking about this at the beginning of the reading with the Five of Cups. The Moon is a card of fears, and so I feel like that doubt. It's almost like you're doubting that you're capable of doing something, but you actually are. The Moon just says keep one foot in front of the other. Don't worry about what is going to happen or whatever. Just keep pushing forward. I think I was watching something with one of those Navy SEALs. I can't remember who it was, but they were basically talking about how they got through Navy SEAL training, and they said that they just started saying like, I just have to make it one more second, and they just had to like keep telling themselves one more second, which is a painful way of doing things, but they made it, right? And so I kind of feel like that. It's like if you just don't give up, and I don't think this is going to be like the Navy SEALs. I don't think this is going to be like super hard for you to accomplish your goal, wish, or dream. But I feel like if you could just tell yourself, I just have to take this one next step, and look at the last step was easy. This one is just going to be just as easy. Like if you could do that, I feel like you will manifest whatever you're trying to manifest very quickly. The Moon to me is a card of manifestation. I always say with the Moon that the Moon says you have to bring a dream down to earth. Everybody reads it as fears, fantasies, illusions, all this other stuff, but there's a path straight down the middle of the Moon that ends in some mountains. Mountains in the tarot represent achievements. So the Moon does not say stop. The Moon is part of the Fool's journey. It says get your ass to those mountains, climb to the top, because where do you get the best views? At the top of mountains, right? And so, there you go. Get moving. With the Hermit, you have the Four of Wands. Definitely could be marriage potential coming in for you here, going this way. Could be a knight in shining armor. Some of you might be saying like it's not possible, or the type of person that I desire isn't possible, but I really feel like it is. The Four of Wands also is a card of completion, and we have a lot of energy in this reading that is saying you need to complete something, like you need to cross the finish line of something you've already learned, which is what the Hermit needs to do. Sometimes I think when we go through something with the Hermit for too long, then it just becomes part of our story, and then we think like, oh, I'm just always going to have to deal with these challenges. I feel like this is saying like, no, you can cross the finish line, move past these challenges, and go do something else, right? So there you go. And with the Six of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Wands here. Yeah, so I feel like you've realized something isn't worth it. This is the energy you're moving past. Seven of Pentacles always says to me, like, is the juice worth the squeeze? You know, is it worth it to put all this energy into this business or this work or this thing that I'm doing? I feel like you know that you're meant for more. Like, I feel like you know that your life is destined for more. It's like if you're feeling things, you know, I feel like you need to trust those feelings. Like, if you're feeling like, oh, you want to be famous on TikTok or, you know, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. Maybe you want to, you know, breed horses or whatever. I don't know. It's always animal breeding with me for some reason. Like, whatever the hell you want to do, I don't care. You know, I feel like this is saying, like, if you have that feeling that you can do it, you can do it. So, you know, like I said, take those small steps. With the Two of Swords, here you go. You have the Wheel of Fortune. This will change your life for sure. I feel another challenge for you is maybe people in your life. You know, I feel like you're not abandoning people by changing your story, you know? And I feel that some of you need to realize that. You know, maybe you're worried that, you know, no one in your family has ever started a business. I don't know. I've just noticed this a lot with some successful people. It's almost like they feel guilty by becoming more successful than the people before them, or, you know, by other people in your family. But, you know, I always tell people, it's like you need to tell yourself that you're inspiring those people. And if whether they get inspired or not, that's on them. Right? So by you becoming successful, yes, absolutely, people are going to talk shit and say things behind your back and all that other stuff. But you can, by being successful, you cannot deny that you are inspiring them, even if they're talking shit, right? So I don't even care when people talk crap about me, because whether it's family members or whatever, although none of my family members do, but I'm just, you know, giving an example. It's like I don't even care, because it's like I know that at the same time, a little piece of them is being inspired, right? With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles. Yes, I feel like you need to let go of the idea that you don't have what you need. Maybe on the surface, that it seems like you don't have what you need, but I feel like you really do. Five of Pentacles says stop calling attention to what you don't have and focus on what you do have, and, you know, focus on your strengths. You know, Five of Pentacles really says double down on your strengths. With the High Priestess and the King of Cups, sorry. I got bronchitis after COVID, and yes, I've been to the doctor, so don't worry, I have medicine and everything. I'm taking care of it. Everybody keeps leaving comments like I enjoy coughing or something like that, but no, it's been being taken care of. I'm fine. So you have the Ace of Swords here, and this could represent you know, kind of like a truth coming out, or it could represent a victory in your life. So, you know, I feel like there could be some communication here from people around you that's leading to a victory. Funny enough, this card also can represent making a sacrifice, because there's normally a palm frond on one side and olive branch on the other, and the palm frond can represent kind of making a sacrifice, and the olive branch can represent an offer of peace, but it can also represent abundance. So, you know, I've been getting a lot of messages about people and people in your life, and, you know, for everybody. And so a lot of you could be like cutting people out and, you know, focusing on making sure that you invite the right people in. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Temperance card. The Temperance card is turning one thing into another. You know, I feel like you've been very patient for love, and, you know, I really feel there's like a good person coming in for you here. Some of you, I feel like you have your eye on this person. Could be any sign. You always get water for some reason, whatever. It could be an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or a Leo with that Wheel of Fortune as well, or Sagittarius. Could be a Virgo as well. Take it how it resonates. Could be any sign. But I feel like you've been very patient. It's like this person, it's kind of weird, because I feel like this person's been made for you with that Temperance card, or things have been, that's what I'm getting off the Temperance card. I also feel like you see things the same way, which is weird that's popping into my head. If this is not love, I feel like this is a situation that has been made for you. It's like, sometimes I look at Temperance as, you know, kind of, you know, creating a statue. It's like molding clay. You're trying to turn one thing into another, and, you know, rough stone into something beautiful. And so, you know, I don't know, it's popping into my head that an opportunity was like made specifically for you. And I feel like you just have to like take those steps, like I said. Let's see. With the Five of Cups as your outcome, you have the Three of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you need to let go of something from the past for sure. That's like the only thing that's holding you back is, holding on to something that you don't even enjoy any longer. I kind of feel like that's your challenge. Some of you, the challenge is you have like a business or a job you don't enjoy anymore. You want to upgrade, but you're not sure what to do. But I actually feel like you are. Again, if you really look at your situation, I feel like you have a lot of experience that could translate into something else. The challenge I really feel also is the Temperance card, right? Is like, how do you take your knowledge that you have and turn it into something else? And I don't know, I can't answer that question for you. Think about it. But I think you're much more prepared than you realize. In this, we're pulling 5 main themes now. You have this empathy card. I feel like people are really good for you. I feel like people are being really kind to you as well, which is interesting. But I also feel like you're surrounding yourself with the right people, which is definitely something I would focus on with that empathy card. You have this originality card. I would be very focused on original ideas. I tell everyone to do this, but I'm telling you right now, like, you are born very close to Pisces, and you and Pisces, I think really, really, really need to, you two in particular, need to double down on those ideas. You need to not care what people tell you about those ideas, and you need to follow through. You need to see them through all the way to the end. That's going to be like your challenge, right? So if you do that, you will be very successful. Very successful. You have this acquisition card. Could be a Taurus as well. Could be someone who has Earth in their chart, or a lot of Earth in their chart as well, I'm getting. So it doesn't have to be a Taurus, but this is like my fancy couple card. Look at these two. So there could really be a solid person. I find it interesting that there's 2 snakes up here. And again, snakes kind of represent reinvention, like on that magician. And remember what I was saying about something being made for you with that Knight of Cups and the Temperance card? It's almost like 2 people who have gone through a transformation. And I think that the transformation is the thing that's bringing you together. So that's pretty powerful. Definitely could be a solid connection. You have this discovery card, expanding your radius. It's like you're not going to find what you want where you are. It's like you're in this 10-mile radius. I feel like you need to go to 100. I'm not talking about literally. I'm talking about figuratively. Although, I don't know, if you're having a hard time finding a job or something, maybe you do need to expand your radius. But, again, I feel like everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before. Plain and simple. Very powerful reading here, Aries. And you have this escape card. Here you go. This card, it's like this person's out of there. So I feel for a lot of you, this isn't really an escape. I feel it's saying, you need to let go of the way things have always been done and, open up to new ways of doing things. So pretty interesting here, Aries. I really like where this is going, though. I think it fits in very well with your next several years of astrology. So I love that. And I see a lot of success. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.